Our project was to create a video game using the learned code and new features. Humberto and I created a space shooter using Microbit Arcade. The game consisted of a small spaceship that will have to bait enemies and shoot them to collect points. The main goal of the player is to survive, evade as many enemies as possible, and collect all the possible points. It's a game that gets progressively difficult as you play it, until it gets to a point that you need to be really skilled to continue playing. Our solution for the initial idea was designing an input, process, output scheme. First of all, when launched, the game starts to run some code. For example, spawning the player, randomly spawning enemies, etc. Another form of input will be the crosses. When touching the program runs the code for velocity and moves the sprite of the player. Like this, there are many forms of input, process and output actions, like Easter eggs, shooting features, and what actually makes the game get exponentially difficult as the time passes. It's basically a decision conditioned to the timer. We used lots of decisions. It was definitely what we used the most. Every single action comes from an if block. Loops were also very frequently used, like whiles for color changing in the sprite or repeats for animations. This project really helped us to improve our computational skills. Since everything was new, we had to make mental schemes of how to solve decisions, ordering them and knowing how to project them in the coding. Definitely this is a project of which I feel personally very proud because we took the game further our knowledge, learning how to solve completely new situations.